Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. We are back, baby. We have a packed show today. We break down some trailers, aka one trailer. We watch some things. Oh, yeah. And we give you our favorite shows and movies so far for 2023. And we end with our world famous double feature. Oh, yeah, it's a good one, too. Somebody does some fucking math in the fucking thing at the end. So go ahead, stick around. Let's start the show. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with my long distance cuddle buddy, Andres.
Thank you so much for that one.
You're welcome. I was on the fly right there. I just
made it. Came out of thin air. You're like, ooh,
yeah. I was looking right at your face, and I was like, what do I want to do with that face? I want to cuddle it.
And you're far away. Do I want to cuddle it?
Yeah.
I got promoted to cuddle. All right.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Haven't seen you in a while, man.
It's been a little bit. Some of us have been busy doing stupid adult things. But
yeah,
things are getting back into a groove. And this is fun. I'm glad we get to do this finally.
I know. It gave us a chance to work on this list.
Yeah, I had to do some thinking, and unfortunately my thinking was not impressive, as you'll find out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
but
bro, my shit looks like look at this. It's color coded. It's got fucking arrows and shit. And
you just spoiled it. I saw some names on there. All right,
I did some mad scientist shit on it.
Yeah, were you giving that like multiple? I don't know. However, your rating system is fucking out of its mind, so I'm just gonna go with it. This film was terrible. B+.
I didn't watch this movie. F. That's you.
yeah, we'll see about that.
I watched the font. I didn't like the font. F.
The trailer was dumb. Terrible film. Yeah,
F.
We'll see. Yeah, I didn't like the face of the leading actor. Terrible. Shall we begin?
Yeah, let's get this thing started. Trailers.
Here we go.
We
should call this one trailer.
Like, and flex at the same time. So it'd be like in the, yeah. All right, Muscles and Mayhem. An unauthorized story of American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Official trailer. All right, man.
You watch the trailer?
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if this is like an era specific, if it's just like for our age group. I don't know because man, when American Gliders was out, it was a thing, dude.
Huge thing. I remember I knew people who tried out for it like at its peak, and I was like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that you could do that? Dude, I was like, I knew I was way too young to compete. I was like a fucking child. Or I was like, but at the same time, I'd be watching it. I'm like, let me figure out some strategies. Okay, you pretend to go this way, but then you go that way. And then when they're shooting the fucking tennis balls at you, do this. But really what you want to do is you hit them from the right side. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit, how do you do that? But yeah, I mean, that shit was bananas. And
yeah.
What else was your relationship with American Gladiators?
For me, it was, I can't remember the specific time and day that it came on. But I remember that, because before you went home whenever you went home, like we're out in the street. But not when American Gladiators was on, because you went home and watched that shit. And I made sure that I was at home to go watch American Gladiators.
I'm pretty sure that shit was on like a Saturday or a Sunday. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't remember missing too many episodes, but that was my relationship. And just like watching these super buff people all roided out, just destroy regular human beings.
Not just that, but their names. Like it was one of the first shows, like Nitro, Laser, Blaze, Lace, fucking Turbo. I was like, huh. And it was kind of like a mix of like wrestling, like WWF, and like sports, and with like almost zero fucking like padding or protection.
Yeah, no protection at all.
Dude, like, and they were getting slammed. It's both of them, contestants and the gladiators.
Yeah. I just remember too, like thinking like, oh man, we're almost there. We're almost there to Running Man. Remember Running Man, the movie?
Oh, the obstacle. Oh, yeah.
I was like, we're getting there. It's going to happen. We're going to have these fucking contests where people die at the end and shit.
Dude, it's nuts. Spoiler, I actually watched 2 episodes already of the documentary.
Oh, it's episodes?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if they're like 30-minute episodes, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Man, talk about nostalgia. I was like, whoa. I mean, they take you further back. They show you like the pilot episode. And you're just like, and they filmed it like in this terrible arena, like on dirt. And like they shot it for like 20 hours straight because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like they had no idea.
Yeah.
And they were literally taking like baseball fucking like a catcher's uniform and painting it. And that was like a uniform. It was terrible. Like it was terrible. And but they're able to cut from like that 20 hours, like a 15-minute kind of like little sizzle reel to kind of get investors going, and like, holy shit. And then like it slowly got better and better to the point where we were actually watching it and super enthusiastic about it. Like, and like the country was like fucking showing up at malls to these guys signing, and it was a thing. And it was like,
it was a major thing.
There's a lot of work, and they dig into stuff. Like they go into the steroid stuff, they go into the injuries, they show you the injuries. They'll show you like, yep, and that was the last time we saw so-and-so. We're like, God damn.
I do remember there was a lot of turnover. I'm like, dude, where's Turbo? Turbo was my favorite. Or, you know, like, remember like, oh, where's this guy this week? Or like, they wouldn't say anything. They were just like, oh, we have a new gladiator.
Volcano would show up. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. And then like you find out later, like during the early screening or during the tapings, 0 doctors on staff. Fucking 0.
Why?
Not a Band-Aid to be found, apparently. It was like, holy shit. Who thought? You know what I mean? Like there was some thoughts that were not had at the beginning of the show. It was like, oh my God.
That's like another win, another W for Gen X. You know, we had fucking American Gladiators.
Dude, yeah. That shit was no joke. But yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's funny. I never wanted to compete on that shit. I just did it. I was like, I just did it for the violence, basically, to watch them hurt each other. Like, you know, it's like when you watch people do fails on YouTube where they eat shit, you're like, oh, you just want to watch the train wreck, kind of, you know?
But you also kind of want to see them do good sometimes. You're like, yeah, when they're doing like the fucking game with the basketball thing, putting it into the thing, and they're like, they're able to get some in there, and the other ones there getting slammed the shit out of them. It was like, whoa.
Oh, remember the obstacle course when they used to get shot with a cannon? Doosh, doosh, doosh. Remember at the end? What would have like
shot with a cannon? There was an obstacle course where they had to shoot the gladiators, the target behind the gladiator as they're getting shot at. That one was nuts. And they showed like all the different versions of it, and you see like how they get better at the games and better designing the games and better shooting the thing. You're like, then you see like how the evolution of like this little tiny idea, and it started out terribly, turned into like this huge juggernaut because they just did better and better and brought in like better directors, better budget. The crowds got into it, and I'm like, damn. As you see the evolution of like those courses, you're like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one step away from Running Man. I'm telling you,
dude. Or shooting them with tennis balls. Next thing we shoot them with real bow and arrows and shit. I don't know, man.
Rubber bullets.
And as a kid, I never understood like how they're able to like you watch the whole thing in an hour or something. Like, how do they do that all in an hour? And then the show they finally show you, they don't. That shit takes like a week to shoot everything. It was like nuts how they have to put all these things together. And they interview all the gladiators, and they get into it. They talk about so much crazy shit, and you're like, jeez. Not spoiling anything, but trips to Mexico to pick up some pep for some of them gladiators talking about it. And, all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm like, damn, it's definitely worth watching, and it moves fast. Oh,
Cool.
Netflix. Yeah, props to them
Look,
for bringing this one out.
yeah.
Dude, you should
Looking
watch it.
forward
You'll
to
dig it. You're just going to go
Yeah.
back in time. That's our one trailer this week.
Cool. All right, moving on to news and tidbits. We got some sad news, man. Rest in peace to Mr. Alan Arkin.
Man,
Yeah.
he was always awesome. Like, I can't remember a single role where he didn't at least steal the scene that he was in if he wasn't like the main star.
I agree with you. I just remember his voice being iconic. Like, yo, as soon as he started talking, you like, that's Alan Arkin.
He has like this really mellow
Deep
way of talking, and
Yeah.
it keeps your attention.
Yeah. What is he
He's
going to
got a
say next?
Smart ass thing. He's like
Yeah. Semi-condescending.
extremely, and he does it so well. I mean, dude, homie won an Academy Award.
Yeah.
I mean, or he got nominated for several others. Like, dude, he's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, I remember going back and watching The Rocketeer a couple of years ago. I'm like, fuck, I forgot Alan Arkin is in the film. Like, he's so good. Argo, so good. I mean, Little Miss Sunshine, hilarious.
Little Miss Sunshine.
He's
The
been around
Kaminsky
forever.
Method. I like that show.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know it's top of a lot of people's lists.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was bummed. I'm like, damn it. And he was in Carlsbad, which is like, I had no idea he lived in Carlsbad.
Mm.
So he knows a pretty area when he sees it, I suppose.
Yeah. This isn't my price range. I'm like, oh shit. But
right.
yeah, man. Bummer.
Bummer. All right.
Okay, moving on. We got DC casting news.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn's Superman and Lois have been cast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna try to say the guy's name.
What is
you got it?
No.
Huh?
I don't know this dude at all, which is kind of nice.
Me either.
It's like, I think it's like a bonus. He's going fresh to like he's trying to start something new.
Yeah.
The dude's name is David Corenswet. I think he's English.
Corenswet?
Sweet. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
listeners,
I don't know
have
either.
fun with it. Look it up. You can tell us how to say his name. I don't know, but
and Lois's name is Rachel Brosnahan. What do you think about her?
I'm so happy that she's going to be in this. I think when she's given the right material, she fucking kills.
Man.
When you see her in Maisel, she like disappears into the role. And I've seen her in some other roles where like they're just underwritten and she just kind of has not a lot to do. So James Gunn fucking just goes for it. Like I think he does with all his characters. This is awesome.
Man, are they going to make Lois Lane talkie? Like annoyingly talkie though? Because like this girl can go, bro, like 100 miles an hour and you're like, hey, can I breathe? Can you let me? I'm still trying to process the first sentence you gave me, lady. Because she can talk, bro.
We're going to find out in a couple of years.
Man.
I'm stoked.
I don't know.
I'm pretty stoked. I think she just deserves. Like,
does she seem
credit.
Older?
She is older than dude. She's at least like 5+ years older than him, which is like okay.
But that's the Lois vibes, right?
Yeah,
Lois always came off as older.
But she's also like the veteran reporter. You know, she's not some fucking new. He's the new kid on the block.
You got to make her a cougar, though.
I'm sure they will. We'll see how it goes. But I'm stoked. I'm so stoked.
You're more high on the casting than I am, I guess.
Yes,
I'm more like, we'll see. I don't want an annoying Lois.
Does James Gunn do annoying roles? I don't really think so. He knows how to like get in and out pretty well.
Yeah,
we'll find out. I'm excited.
We will.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
At least they got it done pretty fast.
Are you surprised they did not announce this at the Comic-Con?
No, I think over the years, specifically the last 4 or 5 years, you know, Comic-Con is not what it used to be. So I don't think a lot of things are, you know, let's hold it for the con, you know, kind of thing. It's more like, let's get it out. You know, they try to control the narrative, you know, what the story's going to be. So, I'm not surprised. Maybe they have some other shit. There's a ton of studios that aren't going to be there, right? Marvel's not going to be there.
Like fucking no one's going to be there because of the impending actors strike. Like the writers strike was tough enough, but the actors go on strike, which they just extended. They're supposed to go on strike a couple days ago, but they gave them like 10 more days to try to settle a fucking deal.
Yeah.
Who knows? Are they gonna? I have no idea. But if that happens, all actors are done. They can't promote anything. They can't show up on set to film anything. Like things are already grinding to a halt for production. And if the actors call, it's gonna be zero, like fucking zero, except for like animated films. Other than that, which leads us into the next piece of news.
Yeah, which is don't expect any boys season 4 until post strike. Does that mean they haven't written a fucking script yet?
No, I read into this. They actually filmed it already. They finished filming it already. The problem is they do a lot of editing and creative changes in post, like dialogue, rewriting stuff, and trying to put stuff together. And they can't do any of that with the writers on strike. So they're going to wait for the writer's strike to be over so they can actually go back in and finish it properly, which means it's not going to come out until like next spring at the earliest. I'm like, fuck, we got to wait like a year and a half for another season of The Boys?
But when it's good, bro, like I don't mind waiting at all.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this might be like a spoiler into like later on in the podcast, but I didn't realize that Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, and Across the Spider-Verse were 5 years apart. It kind of flew by.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm like, it didn't seem like that long. And like, I'm like, dude, they could have, taken a little bit longer anyways. Like, it was amazing. So, it's, no complaints. Yeah. Take your time. Do it right.
And when the source material, the original is so rewatchable, you're kind of good rewatching it. You know what I mean? You're not like, I'm curious for the next one. Like, dude, I watched Spider-Verse probably like a dozen times, and it might happen again this week. So I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, that's a bummer, The Boys. But yeah, do it right. All right, what's our last piece of awesome news here?
Olivia Colman in talks for Paddington 3. Ooh. Paddington in Peru. AKA, what happened to his accent? I just wrote on here, Jesus, bro. Like, we're really gonna update this fucking shit? We're at this fucking turd? Fucking the washcloth movie?
Dude, this is the breaking news right here.
Who's Olivia Colman gonna play? What's her name's mom or sister or what?
I'm really hoping she plays a villain because that shit would be hilarious. Like in the first one, Nicole Kidman was the villain. Second one was Hugh Grant was the villain. Like,
was the bear gonna be like, somebody stole all the Q-tips?
What the fuck are you?
That was my Paddington impersonation.
Yeah, keep going. You did such a good job. Let's hear some more.
You like it? Oh man, I don't have anything else in there. Let's go for some tacos.
Woo! And today is
everybody must hold hands crossing the street.
There you go. There's that's pretty bad.
Like, really? You guys are watching fucking people hold hands crossing the street?
We'll find out when the third film comes out.
I feel like that's like half of the first movie. Everybody doing things right. Brush your teeth. Say your prayers. Me.
Watch behind your ears.
Yeah. Fucking piece of shit.
Speaking of pieces of shit, all right, what are we up to next?
All right, man. Best of 2023 so far. All right, I'm excited, man. I don't know how you want to do this.
Let's start with movies because I think that's a much shorter list for us.
Yeah, for both of us, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we went with just, right, like however, not top 5, not just like whatever we liked, right?
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you right now, I am missing a whole bunch of shit from the beginning of this quarter. So this is not a comprehensive list. So I have not watched John Wick 4, which is on the docket for this coming week, which I'm so fucking excited. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, definitely excited for. Extraction 2, excited, but I'm not like falling over myself to watch it. Spider-Verse 2, fucking stoked, super stupidly excited for. Yeah. And something I'm pretty excited for is Asteroid City, the Wes Anderson film. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty fucking cool.
All
It
right.
looks pretty good. All right, so
Okay.
those I have not watched. So I have a feeling some of those might end up on the end of the year list,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about them as we watch them.
Man, the end of the year for the TV shows list is going to be fucking crazy. Because I'm already at like, including honorable mentions, I got 1, 2, 3, 9 already.
I think I'm up to about the same. I have my top 5, and then I have a bunch of honorable mentions. So movies, I figure I'm gonna do top 3, and I'll start with the third if you want to do something like that.
Sure.
And my list is fucking tiny.
All right. Yeah, I only got 3 too. So
my
that's
standouts at 3 is Air.
Ooh,
I thought it was
good one. I like that one.
Very well done. Super enjoyable. Well done. Well written. Yeah. I thought it could have been a little bit better. Like there's some missed opportunities, but overall it was pretty damn good. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can see maybe some award stuff happening for it later. I don't know. We'll see. But I liked it.
Yeah.
What you got for number 3?
For number 3, I got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Ooh, all right.
All I wrote down is a very emotional and admirable conclusion to this genre expanding trilogy.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I may have not or may have shed a couple tears.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for that one.
And I was not the only one in the theater. And it was good. I liked it. I liked it more than the second one. First one's definitely the best one. But this one was good, man.
Cool. Maybe I should watch the first one again before I watch that one.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2 is out of left field. I think this film was like shocking. Like we put it on and we ended up staying up late to watch it, like out of left field. And we're like, this is fucking good. Super enjoyable. Flaming Hot. It's on Hulu. About the Flaming Hot Cheetos. I thought it was really, really well done. Like it stressed a lot of family and pride and it was really well shot, well edited, well written, like everything. It was just a total package of like an enjoyable film. Like I would, if anyone hasn't watched Flaming Hot on Hulu, go check it out. Oh, it's also on Disney apparently. Like they just did a simultaneous thing. So check out Flaming Hot. Have you seen it yet? Yeah,
I liked it. I enjoyed it too. It was super nice, feel good, story, and it's like had his roots and stuff, and being Mexican American, and kind of like it's just natural to like have a connection to
they go deep into the experience. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really well done. I was like, it was handled with like care, and I'm like, shit, this is good.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was gonna be that level of good. But I was like, shit, that's cool.
Yeah. Even though that like not a lot of well-known actors were in it. I mean, they did a good job. So
and good for them for doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Eva Longoria directed it. Like kudos to her.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it was good.
All right. My numero dos. Here we go. John Wick 4.
Ooh.
Awe-inspiring action sequences. Super memorable action and beautifully shot. You're just like, damn. You just like, I don't know how many times you just like said, damn, at the screen.
Dude, I bought it.
They're like, say me and your fight choreographers, and we set up a scene, right? And pa. You punch, I punch, blah, 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 knock you out. And then you're like this. And then fucking somebody comes in and like, oh yeah, do this other thing on top of that. It was always like that. Like it was like resolve and then something else on top of it. You're like, oh shit. I wasn't expecting that last one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So man, it was super fucking fun, dude.
So there's a bunch of closers up in John Wick 4.
Oh man. The body count is high.
I'm excited. I'm like, I have 3 hours blocked out next weekend, this coming weekend. I'm excited. I got the Blu-ray. I already bought the Blu-ray like 2 weeks ago. It showed up. So I'm like,
make sure that those 3 hours are set in stone. Biblical stone.
I'm excited. All right. My number 1. Again, slower year, but I really enjoyed this film. This film was a little diverse between you and I, apparently. Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
fucking great time watching it. I laughed. The action sequences were like really impressive. Like this film was punching above its weight, like by far. And I was just impressed. And I was like, this is cool. Not just that, but yeah, it was a crowd pleaser. Like this film had no business being like as good as it was. And I love that shit when they take like Dungeons and Dragons, what the fuck? And then they just fucking go with it.
Yeah.
You're like, it's good. Like I'm gonna watch it again to see if it actually holds up or not.
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. You gave it a B plus. I gave it a B minus. I don't know what you're bitching about. You know what I'm saying? It's like a half a grade there. That's the variance. But you act like I'm like shitting on the movie. It was okay. It was good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Like, I think you're more butthurt that your opinion sucks and that I took a shit on it. I took a big giant shit on your opinion. And maybe that's why you're acting like a baby. B plus, B minus, about the same thing, bro. Relax. So
there's a divide there. There's a bit of a divide.
It's
like
half a grade.
Like if you were Evil Knievel going off a fucking ramp and you were like going over the thing, like you're trying to jump over 30 buses, you probably would have hit the 27th bus if it was a B minus jump. B plus, you probably would have cleared it. So there you go. There you go. Take your bike and hit the 27th bus, motherfucker.
Okay. So you keep all your B movies and I'll go with all the A movies because we're outside, bro. We're outside. We're in the movie theaters, all right? We're in the fucking theaters. You're in your fucking B movies and I'm doing the movie theaters. And my numero uno is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Gotta be.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. It was like amazing. Like I was watching like living, breathing art as it was happening in my face. And I was trying to process everything. And at the same time, I wanted it to slow down so I can appreciate everything that was going on the giant TV screen or theater. And man, I can't say enough about that movie. Dude, and all of these movies are almost like goddamn 3 hours.
You got to own that shit on like Blu-ray so you can stop it and rewind it and process it. You're like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like the epitome of that shit. So kudos. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So those are the top 3. I got the A movies. You got the B movies.
Yeah. I would agree with that. We're going to catch up. All right. So now we're going to movies. This
is going to be interesting. Sorry, I think we all watch the same shit here. So
we're
except for one, or two. But so you want me to start with my top 5?
Let's go back and forth. Do your 5. I'll do my number 5.
Okay. So my number 5, man,
it's hard. I know. That's okay. We still have the rest of the year to let it settle in.
All right, my number 5 is The Last of Us season 1.
Okay.
And it was a great first season. Edge of your seat. You got introduced to the new world, new characters. Yeah, man, I loved it. I can't wait for another season.
Dope. My number 5, it basically is a tie, but I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna commit to one right now, and I'll put the tie into the shout outs. Okay. I'm gonna go with Silo for number 5.
Okay.
I was not expecting this show to be this good and this well done and this well thought out and this well acted and this well shot and this well designed and like this well edited. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is like, this is a legit sci-fi, dark, crazy, like, dude, loved it. Like I couldn't believe how cool it was. And it just ended, I think, like a week ago, and we finally watched it. So we are caught up. We'll talk about that later. You and I next week. But
just to add to that, real quick, it's on my honorable mentions. But the reason it might be on my list when I finish it because I'm only on episode 5. So
so
it might make the list at the end. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's because I hadn't finished it yet, so it's on the outside looking in.
I think it went a little higher on my list because it was unexpected. Like I was expecting something cool and interesting, but it really brought me in. I'm like, oh shit, I love that. When I see something like I hope it's good, and then also like it's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silo on Apple. All right, what you got for number 4?
Number 4, Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Ted Lasso. They landed the fucking plane. They
did.
fucking, you know what I'm saying? The show did what it knew itself. You know, it knew itself from beginning to end, and it didn't overextend itself or didn't try to recreate something that it's not. And it was just a feel good, you know, emotional ride and happy.
You are preaching to the choir, man. But yeah.
So it did a job, man. Landed the plane, and I loved it. Ted Lasso, number 4.
All right. My number 4 is Beef on Netflix. That show impressed. Like how it's structurally built on each episode. And there was so many like unexpected twists. And I was like, what the shit? What the shit? What the shit? And then there's like this thing that happens towards the end where like kind of like it's like the open vulnerability where they strip away all the shit, and it's just like the payoff. It's like a simple payoff, but it's huge, and you're just like, fuck. Like, the writing on this was so good, and you haven't seen anything like this really too much. And they just went for it, and they fucking nailed it. What they were trying to do, like, and there was some crazy shit. I didn't see some of this shit coming. Like, it was not like formulaic. Things were just happening, and they were all it felt like it unfolded so naturally. You're just like, God damn, like just going into a spiral of shittiness. You're just like witnessing. You're just like, oh, I didn't think I was gonna like this show. I was like, I don't know about this. This looks kind of
I remember in the beginning you were like iffy,
and then like it started to unfold, and and you're like, oh shit. And then like the final episode, you're like, what are they gonna do? And they kind of like dialed it back, but go deep in a way. I'm like, fuck. I loved it. Beef. No, that was my number 4.
Yeah. Also, that goes right into that. Beef is my number 3.
Ooh.
So it's right there. I agree with everything you just said, bro. And like, what was that? I was trying to find the word that described that moment, like when they were like towards the end, and
like
they're
like this weird existential moment where
existential.
It's like these two broken souls like connecting in a way that they'd never connected with anyone before, because I guess I had to get like stripped down and just broken into a place where you're just more vulnerable, literally physically and mentally, than you've ever been before. And
outside of your body experience, right?
Yes.
And like they were able to create that for us to watch, which was amazing.
And how they got there from, let's just call it the raid, to that. You're just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I thought it was awesome. And it was all their
like they stepped it up, right? It was like the raid is crazy. Like how they got to the raid was like you go backwards. You go backwards. You're like, what the you know, it is nuts.
It's so good.
So big surprise.
Yeah,
like it came out of nowhere.
That was a super happy, like, yes. 824. Hats off. Man, those guys did good.
So that Beef number 3 for me. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like, as I'm going further, it's the shows that made me feel a thing is what really.
Oh, you have feelings?
Sometimes. Only when I'm watching TV. Like, if you see me on the street, you can eat shit and die.
Yeah.
But, like, looking at your face across the screen right now, I feel nothing. But,
I remember seeing the little kid pictures of you, and you're scowling in all your fucking kid pictures, bro. Why are you scowling in every picture?
Probably didn't have my G.I. Joes nearby or something.
Yeah.
But Last of Us. Last of Us went places I did not expect, especially with that this third episode. I think that kind of like set the tone for like what? Like that, which I think is probably still my top hour of television this year. Like that was like
which
what?
One?
The third episode of Last of Us with Nick Offerman. Like what? Like
that was a crazy episode.
That was that level of impression. It was cool. This wasn't like a perfect show. There's definitely some ups and downs here and there.
Yeah.
But overall, like, fuck, it was so well done. You were so in. Watching Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey together, like, it's so good. The supporting cast, it's so well shot.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, what you got
All
for
right.
number 2?
Number 2 might be a little controversial.
Oh.
All right. But I got number 2, and I went by, I was trying to make this list, and I was like critical this and that, and achievement, blah, 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 other stuff. But then I was like, what made me feel the best or the happiest or
Okay.
like the
Now we're talking about, now it's okay to talk about feelings, is it?
warmest,
Shit.
gooeyest? I got Shrinking from Apple on number 2. And like, you can call it a dramedy, and I don't know if it's like, the show's manipulating with your emotions, or,
of course it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's like sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, and at the end you just want to be happy, and
you're rooting for them.
Yeah, and then you're rooting for them and stuff like that, and man, that show did it, man. I'm telling you, I definitely needed a box of Kleenex. So, yeah, man. Box of Kleenex.
Very good. I would watch the whole show again. Easy. It's an easy, digestible thing to get into. Harrison Ford is like, this might be the best Harrison Ford we've seen in like a decade. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Shrinking was awesome. And we'll get a little more into that.
And I loved it, man. It was just kind of too, like, everybody did a great job. And even like the neighbor's husband, Mr. Darcy, like having a mini comeback and like everybody. Yeah. He knew who he was, he stole he was like one of those just coming in hot. I'm here to steal the scene.
It's funny because he was coming in hot, but he was so cool when he would just come in super mellow.
Don't overplay
steal it, walk away. Like, what just happened?
Trust the writing, deliver the line, and boom, let's go. Man, it was good. I love that show.
It is very good.
Numero dos.
Right, my number 2. Because, again, feeling, and they fucking landed the plane, is the 5th season of Marvelous Miss Maisel. Oh. And I think after the 4th season was kind of on a down, like, it was kind of like not going anywhere. And the 5th season was like fucking laser focused on getting to where they needed to go. And like the first episode, they like wrap out 2 or 3 characters, and they're like they're shedding all like everything away just so they can focus on the main character and just the people who are specifically in her like daily life and her career. And they did so much within like the 10 episodes, and like they grew it, and they changed the format of the fucking show, which was like, what? It was a little jarring at first, but then you start catching on to what they're doing, you're like, oh. And then the very last, like, whatever, 10 minutes, or like, I forgot what the episode was called, like 4 minutes or something like that. You're like, holy shit, they fucking landed the plane. Like 10 times where I thought they're going to do, like, oh, and it was ballsy, and she went after what she wanted. And you know what I mean? Like, she took a massive risk and made it happen. And hats off to the show. The show was just like 10 out of 10 for production, the camera work, the costumes, the lighting, like the supporting cast is fucking insane. This show is nuts. So there you go. That's my thing, and that's why I'm also extremely happy that we're going to see her on the big screen as Lois Lane, to see what they do with her and James Gunn together. That's going to be fun. So there you go. All right, what's your number 1?
Cool. My numero uno. The champ is here. Da, 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 da. The champ is here. The Bear, season 2, man.
Ooh, already.
Yeah, man.
I should have,
bro.
My disclaimer earlier, I forgot to tell you, I even wrote it down in my fucking notes. I have not finished watching The Bear. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Man. It's still like, I'm still like processing everything, Definitely going to rewatch it. You couldn't help but keep binging like myself. I watched it like in 2.5 days. You know what I'm saying?
Is this the most bingeable show on TV in the last like couple of years?
Bro, I don't know what would happen if you couldn't binge it. Like, you'd just be upset, just like so stressed out, just anxiety, like of what's gonna happen next, and how the family, and like, Richie, what's Richie fucking doing? What's the sister doing? Fack is fucking up, like everybody, doing their own thing, it's just a lot of emotional baggage in this season, and the resolution of the climax of the show was so satisfying, but it just kept you wanting more. And now, like, I gotta wait a fucking year to drop another season. But the acting, the performances, the writing, you got deeper into side characters, like the development of the entire kitchen staff was, you know, great. You got to learn a little bit about other people, you know what I'm saying? The food, the way they treated everybody, the guest stars, you're gonna see some crazy people show up.
I've already had the internet ruin a couple for me already. Fucking internet, but okay.
Yeah. And it's just, dude, it's just amazing, dude. And you just want to keep going. You're just like, damn. And I as a person that I worked in the kitchen, those ticket machines, god damn, bro, like those ticket machines, they just keep coming, ticky, 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 ticky. And like the anxiety you feel, like the ticket machine is like eye level, and you just had like tickets all the way to the floor. And you're like, damn. And you got your whole thing full of tickets already, and you got tickets on the floor. And you're like, how are you going to get out of that? And that's how, and that's the world they bring you into. You're like, and then like, fire this, fire everything, fire that, blah, 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 blah. And like, everybody's quiet. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And just being in the kitchen like that, it just brings back war wounds, you know? And I'm like, oh, it was like, and then but when you were done with service, or you're done with lunch or whatever, and it's time to clean up, you're like, ha, I fucking did it. I got out of that, you know, like, you know, suck it, you know.
Sense of pride, it was amazing. Sense of accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody brought back a dish. Boom. Nobody sent anything back, you know, so. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be finished watching in the next week or two, and we will do a big, long spoiler talk of this fucking whole season.
Yeah.
We went back and watched the last two episodes, episode, I think 7 and 8 from the last season. And it's the one where the ticket machine went ape shit and they forgot to turn it off, and it turned on and everything showed up at like the exact same time, and they flipped the fuck out like that episode. And when Richie gets stabbed, I'm stabbed, I'm stabbed. Like that shit's hilarious. And then we watched the last episode because we just wanted to get back into that world before we started the new season. Because we were like, you know, the shows we don't have time to watch all of it, but let's watch the last two. Yeah. And just fucking get that flavor and then go straight to the second season. And that was the way to go. If people haven't watched it, like, fuck yeah. That show's awesome. Here we go. Side question before I get to my number one. This year, my MVP early pick would be Rebecca Ferguson for her hat trick of what's coming up for her. I realized last year, is it possible Eben Moss, I always forget his last name.
Bacharach?
Yes, the one for the Bear and Andor. Did he silently pull off the MVP for last year? Hey,
man, he was doing double duty. He did great. I mean, he doesn't let up on this season. Season 2, it's like you go deeper into the Richie story, and man, it was great. He's a good candidate, that's for sure. So yeah, man, Richie did his thing. Eben Moss, Bacharach. It's funny, like, I guess he'd been around for a long time, but man, it took this role to kind of like elevate him.
It takes 10 years to become an overnight sensation, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited to get into this one.
Yep.
All right. My number one. You already mentioned it. I went back and forth on this. Like, this was tough because it was inconsistent, but it ultimately landed the plane. It just felt fucking. It was like the warmest blanket maybe so far this year, and that's Ted Lasso season 3.
Yeah.
I loved it. The last, like, the back half of the show, like, it all came together and they landed the plane. I'm like, dude, like, especially after watching that and then going back and rewatching the first couple episodes of the first season, and you see how they tied so much back into like the first couple of episodes. Like, holy shit, they fucking did that. You don't even realize it. So yeah, that was my number one pick for the year so far.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to
It
go.
definitely had a turning point,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think the
Big
turning
time.
point was the restaurant episode with his dad.
I would say so. And it got more focused because it was a little all over the place. And then they started to like, okay, we got to wrap this up, start landing the plane. I'm like, how are they going to do this? And like, oh yeah, it's 12 episodes. So there was plenty of space. They didn't do that Game of Thrones shit where there was like 6 episodes or 7 where like they crammed in too much. They kind of gave them some room to breathe. And everyone did their thing. It was like, damn, this is good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my number one pick. It might change. We might end up rewatching it. It might fall.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bears coming up. The Bears. That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
We'll see. What were your shout outs? What were your
honorable mentions? Silo. Again, haven't finished it. Platonic. Haven't finished it.
Okay.
Barry. Missed the cut. I mean,
yeah,
I think it was really ambitious. And at the end, I think season 3 was the best season of Barry for me. And I don't know, man. I think like it knows what it is, but I think it tried to do too much, or like it got outside of its lane a little bit. Yeah. And it was a little shaky at the end.
It took you out of it.
Personally.
It took me out of it. And that's why it didn't crack my top 5. Definitely a honorary mention.
Yeah. And one more that I got on there, which might surprise you, is I didn't mention it. Succession, the series finale.
That's right. Okay.
And like, all right, so going into this season, right, Succession was like knocking motherfuckers left and right, knocking them out, trying to get the belt, for best show ever. People were talking, writing, and doing different shows. And is this the best show ever? And it had people on the ropes, and then it just, even though it was good, it was, I think the hype or like the legend of it was too much for it to beat. So it kind of beat itself. You know what I'm saying? Because even though the season finale was good and there was a Godfather moment and you're like, oh shit. And then the answer was right in front of our face the whole time. And of course it had to happen that way. But at the same time, you're like, damn, maybe I wanted something else or I wanted more, so it was a little feeling of that, but it was still good. It was still like a B+ episode, to like a A- season, but you can't have an A- season and your last season, for it to be the,
sure.
Yeah. So like, Breaking Bad didn't have an A- season the last season. Right? So that's why ultimately
Heisenberg don't get anything less than A+ son.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of, I give it an honorable mention. I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed the finale. I just, it didn't like quite tip the scale the other way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I ended up as my honorable mention.
My number 5 that was tied, and I had to go with Silo over this one. It was close. I'm like, oh man, Shrinking. I thought it was great, and it was not like you were not gonna be like, whoa, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's like a nice, easygoing blanket that gets deep when it needs to get deep and light when it needs to be light, and it would just worked, man. That show was like punching above its weight. And here's the fascinating shit: you had Last of Us, Ted Lasso, and Beef. Some of the top shows this year, no question, both dealing with like mental health. A lot of mental health stuff happening, and like taking care of yourself and trying to be better, and like admitting you need help, and and they fully embraced it. Granted, the Ted Lasso and Shrinking are written and produced by the same people, but still, like that was pretty impressive, and how they approach this stuff, it was good.
Yeah, and even the bear, he goes to group, and talks about
that's right,
his issues, So mental health is important, even there, Even though I don't know how good of a job they are with dealing with it on the bear, but
it brings it up though,
But at least they're like there's issues going on. It's a big storyline in season 2 of The Bear.
In the last episode of The Bear, season 1, it opens up with him in an AA meeting. I think it is something like that.
Yeah.
And he has this really long single shot monologue of him talking, and it's you feel that shit. His performance and the writing, and it's just A+ right there. Fuck, that scene was damn.
This guy's so good at being the bear that I'm you forget, how can Jeremy Allen White exist? The person. Cause this guy does when I watch him on the show, I'm damn, this Carmi's Carmi. That's a real chef, That guy worked at a 3-star restaurant. I believe it, that's how good of a job he's doing,
Yeah.
And Evan Moss is cousin, piece of shit guy, we all know, we all have a cousin, you know what I'm saying? Or if I've had one, maybe they're not in our lives anymore, but at some point in our lives, we had a cousin, like that.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah. I'm looking forward to more. The other two, well, there's only really one. The Diplomat, really impressed. I was expecting nothing. That show is fucking pretty damn good. Every episode is fucking pretty fun. It's
Kurt Russell,
super
right?
Dark, yeah, and it just is unexpected, and the cast is fantastic. And then you're like, oh shit. There's just so many moments in that show that are unexpectedly good. There's a couple I'm what the fuck? There's a couple choices I still don't understand, but overall, it's a fucking good show. You know what sucks is I was does The Mandalorian earn a spot? I was not even close. Compared to these guys,
damn, I forgot about it.
I was man, that sucks. But hey.
Yeah, we talked a lot of shit about The Mandalorian.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
All right.
Season 2 was different. Remember, we were high on season 2.
Season 2 was cool because it was focused. They anyways, moving on.
Moving on. To what we watched.
Yeah. Well, we already talked about The Bear season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and Silo. We talked about that.
We are gonna get back into.
I want to watch it, finish watching it, and then we can talk.
Maybe next week. I'll be done with The Bear, and we'll talk about The Bear.
Okay, yeah. All right, so
we got one more.
I watched on HBO Max Evil Dead Rise, and for out there, all my creepy corner people, creepy corner. I don't know if you could say there was a story. You know what I'm saying, to this movie? Or a plot. I don't know what the plot was. There's a lot of blood for no story and no blood. There's a lot of body parts, a lot of the color red, a lot of children in danger, or the same children in danger, and no plot whatsoever. Couple cool little shots, yeah, so not great, my guys. It was not great.
Let me tell you, I didn't tell you. So I tried watching it. And all right. It opened up fantastic. I was like, fuck yeah, this is how you open it.
Yeah.
And then for literally 30 fucking minutes, I was fast forwarding. Nothing happens for 30 minutes. They're talking about their feelings, and maybe I'll do this thing with this place. Hey, I'm hungry. Let's talk about food for another fucking 20 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Literally zero fucking plot. Nothing happens for another 30 minutes. I'm like, how do you start there, do this, and do nothing? And at that point, I had to stop watching because I had to go do some other stuff. I'm like, but I'm just not really interested in going back. I'm like, fuck, man. Visually it looked cool. That opening scene was strong. I was like, oh fuck yeah. This is really well done. Super.
You can't go wrong in the cabin. The cabin is perfect.
And then they left the cabin. Then they were just in a hallway for fucking 30 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And that was it. I shut it off and haven't gone back. It sounds like maybe I shouldn't. But I was.
Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice.
Oh man, I was really hoping the trailer was cool. I like the Evil Dead series. I'm like, fuck. Oh well.
Oh,
Oh
bro,
well.
bro, I just remembered I watched something else,
Let's add it.
and
All
this is
right.
also creepy corner
All right. Adding
too.
to the list. What
Adding
else
in
did
right
you watch
now.
this week?
I watched Renfield.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Don't
all
spoil
right,
it because I do want to watch it. I
all right.
think.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'll tell you, and I I enjoyed the first
Oh.
half of the movie more than the second half.
Okay.
And like the thing that I enjoyed about it the most is that it knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
it's a horror comedy,
Yeah.
and it knew it was, but it didn't pretend to be. But it wasn't pretentious. You know how some like movies are like parodies or spoofs, and like they think they're because they know that they're more elevated or highbrow and like fucking
Mm-hmm.
pretentious. It
Mm-hmm.
just didn't try to be that, which I liked. I liked the fact that we're funny and it's horror, ha ha ha, and then they just stay there in that wheelhouse in the beginning, and I enjoyed it for that. And then the
What did the tone
the
shift or
third
something?
the third act was not as strong. I'll leave
Okay.
it at that.
Is it worth watching on? Is it Peacock? Right. I think it's
Yeah,
like
Peacock.
included.
Yeah,
Is it worth
I
the
have
hour and a half?
watched the first 20 minutes, and
Really?
then you can
That's it. You're
decide.
good. Okay.
No, you're good, but it'll let you know if you want to keep going or not. You
Okay.
know, and
Hey, you
then
didn't
like you
quit.
can
Good
have
for
it on
you.
the background, huh?
Good for you. You didn't quit.
Yeah, I didn't quit. I'm like um, Holt is good. Most fucking Nicolas Cage was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Just the third act was just a little like you start asking questions. You're like, and if you start like in this kind of movie, if you start asking questions instead of laughing, it's kind of like
They
I don't
lost.
know.
You lost.
I don't know. I don't know if it's successful that way. But overall, it's way better than I thought because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I was gonna put it with fucking um the monsters from
Ooh,
Rob
the Rob Zombie
Zombie.
one. Ooh,
Yeah,
shit.
I was gonna put it in that category. But
Damn.
hey, I'm not. I'm not. It's a C movie. C minus C. C C. Give it a C
It's pretty low.
overall.
It's pretty low on the list, but all right. There's a lot of other
Yeah,
stuff going on right now. But all
yeah.
right. I'm glad you got
But
to check
like
it out.
first 15, 20 minutes, it won't hurt.
Cool. All right.
All right.
I
All
think.
right, Creepy Corner. We had a rough week this week, guys. Rough week.
All right. Moving on.
All right. Okay, new to the list. Again, The Bear. Put it's high.
Mm-hmm.
Recommending it. Watch it.
There you go.
It's
Yeah.
it's the champ is here. All right. Tom Segura, July 4th, has a new Netflix special.
You're a fan, yeah.
I love Tom Segura.
There you go.
Last year I got to see him live and he was amazing. I was in
probably
tears.
It's probably the show.
It's probably the show, yeah. So I hope man, it's gonna be interesting to see if it feels the same when it's not gonna feel the same, but to hear the jokes again, it'd be kind of cool.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. So Tom Segura, July 4th on Netflix.
Which will be out by the time this episode is out. So have fun with that, people.
Yep. And now we got double feature.
Yeah.
Summer blockbuster. The summer's here. Time to go to the movies and enjoy some shit blowing up. What do you got?
Dude, I wrote down 3. I was like, okay, let me think of some quintessential films. And I was like looking some stuff up and I wrote down 3 titles. And I realized all 3 titles directed by the same person. And I was like, holy shit.
I don't think we have the same movies then. Because I don't think my guy has this. I mean, he has the pedigree but I don't know if they're all quote unquote blockbusters.
All right.
Go ahead. You go first.
I think there's several. It could have gone so in different directions, but I went with something that's like infinitely rewatchable and just fucking good. And it was like a huge thing when it came out. And I'm talking about Jurassic Park. I think that
Oh,
was a summer defining blockbuster with the effects and the ideas and like the adventure and like the scale of it. Like that was like, and it was like marketed so huge when it came
yeah,
out like in 90, I think it was 93. I can't remember,
yeah,
93. And that was like, dude, that was a cultural thing.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
massive. And my other two were like Jaws and E.T. Jaws, obvious. I'm gonna watch that shit before the July. We always do.
Yeah,
And E.T. is the classic E.T. Huge
yeah,
summary, not overly like cheesy, but I mean it's there. Kids can watch
yeah,
it, but it's also good for adults.
yeah,
But Jurassic Park, that shit is just like that shit still holds up to this day. It's fucking
yeah,
crazy how well done it is. Like it's so well
yeah.
done. But I hand the baton over to you, sir.
Yeah, real quick before I go into mine, I did not have Steven Spielberg, but I remember being a kid and growing up in the valley and it being 1,000 degrees outside. And the only reward, like during the summer, was like going to the movies and sneaking into one movie and the other movie and the other movie, blah, blah, blah. And like I still remember that T-Rex scene being in a super cold AC, dark as fuck movie theater, and like wow, like in the rain and the darkness, and you're like, oh shit, what's that? You know, and then the fucking T-Rex, man, that was amazing. I'll never forget that. And then like the movie being over, you go outside and you're like Rango, the lizard just shrinking from the heat coming out of
Shedding your
fucking
skin.
yeah, yeah. Coming out of the cold ass theater to that. All right, so my summer blockbuster is Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Interesting. And it takes place in the summer in New York during like a fucking heat
Yeah.
wave.
Yeah. And I remember that, man. Like, man, John McClane was so fucking cool. Like, even his hungover. And you got Sam Jackson, Zeus. Yeah, Zeus. Like the god of
Jeremy
lightning,
Irons.
motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Everybody was cast perfectly in that movie. And like, the action sequences were cool. Like, the one-liners.
Directed by the original director of the first Die Hard.
Yeah, McTiernan, director of The Bear, number classics. Was it? Oh yeah, Crimson Tide. He did too.
No, Hunt for Red October.
Hunt for Red October. Who did Crimson Tide? Oh, Tony Scott. My bad.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then yeah, so yeah, Die Hard 3, man. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I think I love like 85% of it. It just gets a little weird at the very, very, very end with that scene when they're trying to capture them like at the border. I'm like, what is this? It just felt tonally weird, like a little off.
Wow, you're a piece of shit. You're a
like
piece
there was
of
no
shit.
like. It just felt so tacked
Okay,
on.
on the spot right now, rank the Die Hard movies.
Oh Jesus, Die Hard's number one.
Okay.
Even though the ending is kind of a little weak, Die Hard 3 is probably number 2. Die Hard 4 is number 3. Die Hard 2. I don't know. They're a little interchangeable between Die Hard 2, 4, and 5. No, 2 and 5. Now I'm confused. Something like that.
I think you're lucky for you. You have the right answer. That's the right answer.
Oh, lucky
But
me.
don't shit on Die Hard 3, bro. Die Hard 3 is amazing.
Dude, there's some shots.
85%.
No,
See,
the
now you're the piece of shit.
Weird. The ending's weird.
You're weird.
Like he finds like a fucking bullet in his pocket and shoots like a telephone wire and it hits a helicopter. I'm like, what? It was kind of like, it didn't feel like a giant John McClane shootout that I really, really wanted. You know what I mean? I just wanted a little bit more from that final.
But
scene.
like you got to understand that by the time you get to that, it was like the 10th ending, bro. How many times had they?
At that point,
it was like over and then over and then. Oh, John, you know, like he's already talking to fucking Miss Gennaro. You know, like it's just over and over and over. That's the thing about these Die Hard movies, and it keeps going, boom in your face.
Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted a little bit of a bigger fight scene at the very end. That's all. Like that film is fucking awesome. There's so many cool things in that movie. Like that movie is just like sitting in the theater, like this shit's awesome.
I'm sure there's a way, but I have to like sit down and think about it. The 3 gallons and the 5-gallon jug, and get the 4 gallons exactly.
I'm pretty sure I figured that out in the theater, just sitting there. I was like, doot, 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 that one.
I'm pretty sure you fucking didn't.
Pretty sure.
Stop fucking lying, bro. Like, damn. I'm
so
pretty sure
no fucking,
my fucking middle name's Einstein. Andres Einstein Rathbone. Come on, bro. Stop.
Some of us know our numbers, and some of us fucking B plus, B minus. I don't know. Mr. B fucking minus.
This guy. I think I figured out the theory of relativity when I was sitting down. Bro, you didn't figure shit out. Well, fucking get out of here, bro. I think I figured it out.
I'm pretty sure I figured that shit out in the theaters. I was one step ahead of John McClane.
Shut your face.
10 steps ahead of you, fucking C minus. All right, anyways.
Any other shitty takes you have to let people know?
No, go watch
Are you good on shitty takes?
I think we're good.
All right. I think I'm good too. All right. It's good to be back. And it was a nice little break, but I'm happy that we're doing this again. And yeah, good show. Please like and subscribe. Let us know if we're missing anything, any recommendations. Yeah, I'm Francisco.
And I'm A+ Andres.
Have a great week. Bonus. 2 nerds, 1 pot. Put on the list. Let's go.